How you doing, guys? Not so much a toolbox tip this week as a toolbox rant. As many of you will know, I sort of frequent some of the forums online. I keep an eye on what's going on the various different trades forums or Facebook groups, Electricians in particular. And over the last couple of days, I've come across two completely separate posts that were more or less along the same lines. And basically both of these guys had given up. They had decided that they were fed up of the government not helping small business. They were fed up of having to compete on price. They were fed up of immigration laws and people being allowed to come and work in the country. And both of them sort of tackle things from a very similar perspective, although their reasoning for giving up slightly different. But when I say giving up, they were giving up being self-employed, they were giving up running their own business and looking to go back into employment. And it was everybody else's fault. And you know, there's a part of you that thinks you sympathize with it. There's a part of you that thinks you understand what it is that they're going through, that they're finding it tough. But then you have to think, really? You know, when you think about life, when you think about things in general, you have to accept and appreciate that life isn't fair. Nobody hands you anything on a plate. Nobody gives you anything. Nobody, unless you're born into a mega wealthy family, you know, nobody puts success in your hand. And if you're going to give up just because things don't work out your way, if you're going to give up because the government don't legislate in your favour, if you're going to give up because a couple of foreigners arrive in the country and work in the same industry as you, if you're going to give up because somebody else beats you on price on a job, if you're going to give up because you can't find enough customers, then, you know, move over. Make room for somebody who cares. Make room for somebody that gives a shit, somebody that wants success, somebody that wants to put the effort in, somebody that wants to try. Because, you know, the bottom line is, it's not easy. It's not easy to succeed in business. It's not easy to build a business. It's not easy to find customers. It's not easy to save money. It's not easy to manage staff. But if you give up at the first hurdle, if you give up when things get a bit tough, then you're never going to find that success. You'll always be working for somebody else. You'll always be earning money with your skill for somebody else. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Some people are quite happy doing that. Some people are comfortable doing that. But then don't try and pretend to be a businessman. Don't try and pretend to be in business for yourself. You know, you can be a tradesman without running your own business. But don't expect it to be easy. Nobody owes you a living. Nobody owes you anything. There's a mantra I have, and I've heard it, I didn't invent it. There's a mantra I have that I live by. You know, if it's going to be, it's up to me. If something's going to happen, if I'm going to have some form of success, then I've got to make it happen. I can't wait for somebody to hand me customers. I can't wait for somebody to hand me the choice jobs. I've got to go out and get those things and find those things myself. I'm not the type of person who, when another electrician sets up in my area, I'm not the type of person who rolls over and plays dead and says, oh, I'm going to give up because there's too much competition. I'm the type of person who says, okay, now there's some competition. This makes it interesting. Now what do I need to do? What do I need to do to step up my game? What do I need to do to get the kind of work that I want to get? So I can't understand that mentality. I can't understand that whole idea of giving up. I think one of these guys said that he'd been in business for himself for 8 years. 8 years he's going to throw away. And I don't understand it. I think if you want to make a success, then you've just got to figure out what you need to do to up your game. You need to stop blaming other people. You know, the thing about blaming other people is, if you blame other people for your failures, then you've got to praise other people for your success. If you think that the government needs to do something before you can actually get on with your business, then you'll be waiting for the government before you can claim your success. You've got no control over it. It's not in your remit. It's not something that you control or you can do. You know, if you blame somebody for your failure, then you need them to put it right before you can succeed. But if you're responsible, if you're the person in charge, if you're the person in control, then you can do what you want. And you can give up if you want as well. You know, that's quite within your remit. So, I don't know, borrow the mantra if you want. If it's got to be, it's up to me. Make things happen. And stop blaming other people when you have setbacks or failures. If something happens, then find a way to work around it. If something sets you back, then look at it as a learning opportunity. If somebody beats you on price, then you haven't sold your value to the customer. If a new company moves into the area and sets up, then look at it as a challenge. You know, if they're taking your work, then you haven't niched yourself sufficiently. And if they're moving into the area, how come they're doing it? If you haven't dominated the market, why haven't you taken the opportunity while you were there in the early days to dominate, to stamp your seal on things, to make people know that you are the person to go to? And even if you move into an area where there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 other electricians, there's still no reason to complain. There's still an opportunity for you to set yourself apart. And you don't need to complain that other people are working in the industry. You don't need to complain or moan that people are eating your lunch. Just go out there and change the menu, change the lunch. I think that's enough of a rant. Until the next time, continue to learn and grow, and I'll see you in the next video.